Today is just another beautiful day by the fireside, and we are going to be making something special and very delicious. And that is nothing else but some baked eggplant stew with a touch of amaranthus, commonly known as green. So we're just going to be calling that green, all right? So you're all welcome back to another episode of The Twist. My name is Chana Z, and here we twist the little things my mom showed me in her beautiful, beautiful traditional kitchen. At Channel Z, we are a family. We work together, we cook together, and eat together. So just pull your chairs and let's do this as a family. If this is your first time here, just feel at home, feel free and comfortable, and let's do this as a team. It is bonding time, so let's get started. So let's quickly run through the ingredients we are going to be using. All right. Firstly, we have our amaranthus or our greens. We're just going to be calling that green because that's what we commonly call it in Cameroon. I pre-wash them nicely. Always make sure you wash your veggies nicely. Then here I also have some leeks. We're going to be using about half. We have here some fresh tomatoes and some onions. Then in a little bowl here we have some crayfish, some smoked beef, some smoked fish, and our palm oil. We're going to be using palm oil. You can use any oil of your choice. I've got here some salt, and then our main ingredient, which is our eggplant. I'm using three different types of eggplant. You can use one, that's fine. I just wanted to give it a mix. All right, so yeah, that's it. Then we're going to be using some plantain as a complement. You can use green plantain, you can use yams, you can use ripe plantain. It just depends on whatever you want to use as a complement, right? So we're going to quickly set everything aside and start by placing our eggplants on our tray, a baking tray, and put it in the oven. So our eggplants were nicely washed as well. We're just taking that into the oven. We're going to let it bake until tender. While our eggplants are baking, we're going to go ahead and slice our tomatoes nicely. Just go ahead and slice the tomatoes as desired. Now, I'm using the slicing method I'm more comfortable with. Feel free to use whatever works with you. You can go ahead and use your chopping board or whatever you want to use. Okay, once we are done with our tomatoes, I'm going to go straight ahead and slice my onions. I'm just slicing my onions over the tomatoes because I'm going to fry them in one pot. So I don't see any need of separating everything. Right. We're going to set that aside and go on to our leeks. So we're using half of the leeks. We're going to be slicing that nicely as well and then set it aside. Now, in a clean pot, we're going to add in some oil. We're using palm oil. You can use any oil of your choice, but palm oil is always what we use in Cameroon to prepare our eggplant stew. Now, once your oil is hot, just add in some salt and go in with your onions. Stir fry until flavorful, and then go in with your protein. So we're gonna go in with smoked beef and smoked fish. Give it a beautiful stir and allow it to cook for a few minutes. We'll let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then we add in our freshly sliced tomatoes. Now, once you add in your tomatoes, stir fry and let it cook. While our tomatoes are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and prep our green vegetables. So we're just taking off the hard stems and unwanted leaves like dead leaves. We do not want to have any dead leaves or leaves that are getting a little bit dry or yellowish in color. We do not want to add that in our pot. So once we are done selecting our vegetables, we're going to go ahead and slice them beautifully. Just slice them thinly. Make sure you slice them beautifully with some love. Always add some love to your cooking. Always add some love to your cooking. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and slice our vegetables nicely. I'm just using my African style. This is a method I'm more comfortable with. So you can use your chopping board and slice your veggies. Just go ahead and do what works for you. But if you want to use my method, you need to be very careful, all right? You do not need to chop your fingers, right? So we're just going to go ahead and clean up a little bit. We made some mess, so just clean up and let your veggies set aside. Then go ahead and peel your plantain. We're peeling our plantains because our stew or our tomatoes are still cooking. Now I got these plantains. I wanted to ripen them, but unfortunately the quality wasn't that good. So instead of getting ripe, they were getting dry. You can see the plantains were getting dry. So the way they were getting ripe wasn't pleasing to me. So I just have to go ahead and boil them, right? Okay. Once you peel your plantain, always scrape your plantain. It helps you have beautiful and clean plantain fingers after boiling. All right. So let's quickly double check our tomatoes. You can see our tomatoes are cooking nicely. So we're going to let it continue cooking on low heat, let it continue simmering while we put our plantains to boil. You can see we are done peeling our plantains. We're going to wash them and put them to boil. Now in a pot of hot water, just add in your plantain, add a bit of salt and cover it and allow it to cook. So our plantains are boiling nicely. We're going to set that aside and then back to our eggplants. You can see that our eggplants are nicely baked and we're going to go ahead and peel them. Right, we're going to peel them and just put them in our clay pot because we need to pound it. You can blend them, but I do not really like the blending version. It doesn't give me that traditional look that I'm looking for. Right, once you blend it, it becomes very, very soft and it's not what I am looking for. I need to get that traditional look, what our eggplant stew actually looks like. All right, so I'm just peeling my eggplant nicely. Just peel them quickly and put in your clay pot or a mortar. If you have a mortar, you can just put it in your mortar because we're gonna pound it. All right. It's always a bit tricky because you need to peel it while it's hot. So we are done peeling our eggplant and we're gonna go ahead and crush it using a small pestle. Right, so I'm just going to do that gently. Remember, we're using a clay pot, so it's very delicate. So we're going to go ahead and mash it until, you know, until we have a desired texture. Like I said, you can go ahead and blend it, but I need that Cameroonian texture, that African traditional texture. All right. So I'm just going to pound it, mash it nicely, and set that aside. Now back to our plantain, you can see how beautiful it looks. It's cooking nicely, it's ready. Now we're gonna go back to our stew, just add in your sliced leeks and then give it a good stir. I dropped in some peppers, some scotch bonnet pepper for some heat. Then I gave it a good stir and then I went in with my mashed eggplants. Now once you add in your eggplants, stir nicely, add in a pinch of love. Yes, always add a pinch of love and allow it to cook. Now it's been simmering for a few minutes, for about 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to add in our green vegetables. Once you add in your green vegetables, you're almost there. Just give it a beautiful stir. We do not want to overcook our green vegetables. So we're going to give it a good stir and allow it to simmer. Now taste and adjust your seasoning, then go in with your crayfish. So I added my crayfish and gave it a good mix again, and then allowed it to simmer for a few minutes. You can see how beautiful our eggplant stew looks. Just taste and adjust your seasoning if need be. You can add in your seasoning cubes for those who use it, but for me, I'm just going to adjust it with a little bit of salt because I needed more salt. It came out beautifully and it tasted so well. The aroma was everywhere in the house. It was so delicious. It tasted so good. So good. So we have come to the end of our video. We paired it with some plantain and it was awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like and comment on the video and do share if you can. I love you so much and do not forget to share some love out there to those around you. Bye.